That would be my thoughts on that. Armand Esterhuizen. Esther, boy, I have no idea, Armand, how to pronounce your last name. Esterhuizen? We'll go with Esterhuizen. Why can't I trust Christ for complete forgiveness, even though I fully believe every word in the Bible? Why won't my heart allow me to enter salvation? Why doesn't God seem to want to help me? Armand, you're going through it, man. Please, sir, reach out to a godly believer who is wise, who you can sit down with, who cares about you, or find one that would make them care about you and sit down with them and pray with them and talk to them about this thing. I think that you really need personal, thoughtful, someone to listen to you, someone to hear what's going on with your thought process and walk you through this stuff. I can tell you, having done a lot of counseling, that if I hear this, the first thing I do is I sit and I ask you questions for like an hour and a half just to understand you. And then I give you counsel. That's not possible. I couldn't imagine 20 questions and each one I spend an hour and a half on. But instead what I'll do is give you a few thoughts that I do hope will give you some direction. I noticed there's a in your thought process, there's a progression. First, you start with, why can't I trust Christ for complete forgiveness, even though I fully believe every word in the Bible? This tells me that there is an intellectual aspect of belief and there's a psychological or emotional aspect, and these two seem to be in conflict. If I'm reading you correctly, you're saying intellectually, like, I think it's all true. I believe it's all true, but I don't feel like I'm fully forgiven. I don't feel fully satisfied emotionally, even though I think it's all true. The second thing you say is, why won't my heart allow me to enter salvation? Now, this is interesting because you, in your three questions you've asked, you step further and further away from yourself and your emotional issues. And I'm just going to point this out for your sake. So at first, I have a problem. I want to trust in Christ, like his forgiveness, but I'm just not feeling emotionally satisfied that I am forgiven, that I'm really trusting. There's something not right there. Then I depersonalize myself. Why won't my heart, as though it's external to me, allow me to enter salvation? As though here I am wanting to enter salvation, and then my heart has the ultimate veto power, and it's not letting me. I think, Armand, you're confused here. And I think this is, to show your confusion, if you want salvation, how is that not your heart wanting salvation? Where is the part where your heart is something separate from you that's keeping you from trusting in Christ or something like that? I think there's some confusion going on here, and I don't know the right answers for it, but I want you to recognize that you are struggling with conflicting emotions and thoughts, and you're trying to process this, and it's causing you to sort of like think strangely about some of these issues. The final step you take is the scary one. And the final step is, why doesn't God seem to want to help me? That's your third question. I've taken my internal conflict and I've projected it to God. He doesn't want to help me. He must not care about me that much. Notice in your first question, you said, I fully believe every word in the Bible. But your later questions indicate that there isn't really clarity on that. God doesn't want to help me? Well, the Bible certainly teaches he does. So you're dealing with conflicting internal emotions and thoughts. And what I'm going to suggest is meet with somebody, talk with them. I'm not condemning you for these things. I just want you to have clarity and recognize you see I have conflicting issues in myself. Then you depersonalize the part you don't like. Why won't my heart let me do that? Now I'm a victim of my heart, and it's not like I'm actually the one who's conflicted. It's like something is happening to me. And then you depersonalize it more. God doesn't want to help me. It's God's fault. And so that is a concerning and scary process that you're going through there. Instead, you should say, honestly, you should be like the guy that comes to Jesus, says, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. I'm going to recognize I've got issues. I've got struggles. I believe you. I think it's true, but I also struggle. And sometimes I feel like I don't believe. And I'm just going to be honest and say, Lord, this is me. I'm a bit of a mess, but I'm deciding, my willpower is saying, I'm choosing to trust in you. Will you help me and meet me here, even though I'll continue to struggle? And do not think, Armand, do not think victory here is you feeling better. Victory here is you making right choices, not feeling better. I mean, I want you to feel better. But if you feel you're unsatisfied and unsettled until you feel better, you will probably never feel better. But if you come to the resolution that whether you feel better or not, you can navigate this in a way that glorifies God, it honors Christ, and you say, I know I have these thoughts and these thoughts. I'm choosing these ones, and I'm going to trust in Christ. Lord, I believe, help my unbelief, and now I will move forward. But please meet with someone, pray with someone, talk to somebody, and share this stuff with them. And thank you for opening up with me. Thank you for being willing to let me share with you, because I know there's going to be others who go through the same thing as you. You're not alone. And then hopefully the counsel I've given you will help them as well. So thank you for sharing.